Welcome back to BD Studios, part 2, our little bee project where I make a flower for my bee to sit on. Sit back and relax and enjoy. We're going to make somewhere for the bee to sit as a flower. And this is our inspiration. Okay, so I know it doesn't look like anything. It actually looks like a giant nail, but it's going to become a great little flower for my little bee. So this is the kind of clay that I use. It's DOS air dry clay. And when you're working with clay, you got to put it away. It will dry. Hence the word air dry clay. Wow, it's really cold because it's cold today. I should be using lotion.
Okay. It says we have one person watch.
Okay. Who's watching? They should say hello. If you're watching, drop a comment and say hello. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is conditioning the clay. You have to do that when you work with air dry clay. You got to get the air bubbles out. You got to get it nice and soft. Especially today that's cold. It feels really hard. And I'm using my palms. Thank you, my friend.
That's a great tip.
Lotion is great. Except this lotion's really watery.
Do you want me to get the other one?
Nah. Just gonna try it a little bit. That's better. That feels good. Okay. All right, and I'm using parchment paper from the kitchen. Works pretty good. And when you roll out your clay, you don't want to have it too thick, and you also don't want to have it too thin. It's very Goldilocks.
We have two people.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Let me go on the computer.
I figured I'd go on. I hate to be all by myself sculpting. Well, I'm not alone. But in order for it to stick, I always like to add a little bit of water. Though really it will stick to most things you're working with. So here's about the thickness. I don't know. 1/8? I'm not good at math. So we're gonna wrap it. I'm gonna wrap it like this maybe, and then I'll wrap the top separately. So I'm gonna cut it right here. Actually, I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm gonna wrap it around and take off the excess. And then you're just gonna play with it. Let's put a little tiny piece on the bottom. If it comes out really straight on the bottom, I will let it be, I'll let it stand by itself, but I don't think it's gonna be perfectly straight on the bottom, so I may need to improvise and put it on a base, but we'll see. We'll see when we get it all covered. And the way you can smooth out your clay is just with a little bit of water. Just do that to it. Then use your fingers a little bit. And then this is one of my favorite tools. It has this curved, I like it. Lets me manipulate the clay without it getting, you can get rid of all the lines and the creases and your nail marks that your nails dig in there. Nice and smooth. And then we can make intentional marks, but I'm gonna flatten it. See, so it might end up standing up. We'll see. So now let's cover the flower part. I'm just gonna cut just a piece Again, we're gonna put water on it. Nobody said hello.
Nope,
No? Okay. Who's watching?
I can't tell.
Aw, that's sad. I would like to talk to somebody. Hello.
I can't even see how to get on.
So I'm basically just making the base of the flower where I'm gonna start adding the petals. So you just play with it. Who remembers their days of Play-Doh? I used to love Play-Doh. Do you remember playing with Play-Doh?
I do.
Did you
I
like
loved
the
it.
smell?
I loved it.
It had a peculiar, interesting smell, which is probably not good for little kids because then you want to be like sniffing. But it was cool. I loved Play-Doh. I made plenty of little figurines and stuff with Play-Doh. All right, so we want it flat there so we could start adding petals. All right, let's make a flower. Have I made a flower before? No. But is it gonna stop me? No. So let's see. My inspiration, again, to remind you, is this. I don't know if you see it there. This is my inspiration. So I'm gonna just move this together like that, roll it in my hands again. And let's just pinch off a piece. I'm just putting it between my thumb and my middle finger and just making like a leaf or a petal. I'm making a petal, which looks like a leaf. It's fine.
Oh, there you are.
Hi. Hi, girly. Wetting it.
Or a petal. It's making a petal, which looks like a leaf.
Ah, there you are.
There you are. Hi.
Kind of looks like an ear at this point. I'm gonna make it like that. And then I'm going to do creases in it. So we're gonna go like this. Okay, so when you attach one piece of clay to the other, you want to score it like that. And you want to put a little touch of water. And you want to have it come here. And you want it to squish it down, make it be part of the other clay. Okay, let's make another one. I may have to put like plastic or something so that the shape will hold in the position that I want it to hold in. So again, I'm gonna do it with my...
Lisa Jones is watching.
Oh, Lisa! Aww. Hi. Hi, girly. Had nothing better to do on a Sunday evening, right? So I'm sculpting. Nothing new. All right, let's do some scoring. Okay, scoring back here. A little water. I don't know how many petals I'm gonna do, but we're gonna keep going till it starts looking like something that I think will work for the bee. Which leads me to think that I definitely need a base because it's gonna be so top heavy. So, and then I kind of like a little curve
Lisa
here.
says hi.
Hi, girl. I bet you it's cold where you're at. I mean, it's cold for us here, huh? But I'm sure you're cold. I'm pretty happy with it so far. It's gonna look so cute on there. Oh, all right. For now, it's 2. It looks odd, right? But first you have to hate it before you love it. And you have to doubt yourself the whole way through the process while you're making things. It's just, it is what it is. A lot of times I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then I'm like, hey, yes.
Yes. It's hard to see the texture on the video.
Oh, yeah?
'Cause you made a pretty flower textures.
I'm also doing a YouTube video at the same time, I think. It may make it to YouTube. It may not. We'll see. So you need me to show it closer? Can you see it there?
It's,
Barely.
well, no, I'm delayed.
I'll bring it up to the camera up here. All right, I'm gonna score the back again.
Yes, I can see it. Good. Very good.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Hello, sweetness. Let's attach you. Let's attach you right there. Reinforce these marks right here, because then in the center I'm going to do something else. I think I'm getting bigger and bigger, so I'm going to make the next one a little smaller. Or should I do 2 more? I think it needs 2 and not 3, right?
I think so too.
This one's pretty heavy. Let's push it in. Let's sculpt it down in there.
Can you get some tinfoil or anything? Just
No,
open
when
it
I
up.
go to set it to dry, I think I'll do the either plastic or tinfoil, one or the other. You get excited and you start making big things. Let me put a little more lotion in my hands. It helps with the, so your hands don't get so cakey. It also helps condition the clay, so. Let's see here, what can we do? This one's a little thinner, so maybe it'll hang less. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the little flower marks. I'm gonna score it in the back. What do you think, Dee? 4 or 5?
Probably 5.
5, I'm thinking 5 is a good number.
Now we have nobody.
Huh?
Now we have nobody.
That's fine. People are going out to dinner. This is a weird time right now, but
You can see it later.
this is what we're doing. Yeah, you can come back and see the video later. It's just fun. Just a fun little watch me sculpt type of thing. Make some of the flowers a little different than others, you know?
Now we have something else.
Okay, so this is what I have so far. It's pretty good. Considering I had no idea what I was going to do. And then now we can give it a little more detail in there. Again, what I want is a place for my bee to sit. So now we're gonna give it some sort of center, but that it doesn't affect my bee. Maybe some leaves on the bottom too.
Yep.
You bring it up to the camera. I think that's cute though.
I think it's great.
It will not stand on its own. So maybe I'll make it like a little base. It's cute. So
cute.
maybe before it dries, I'm going to give it some texture down here. Can you see it in what I'm doing?
No.
No? What about now? But I need to stay on up here.
You can show it when it's done.
Yes, I will take it to the camera when it's done. It's just a little scoring. You just want to give it a little texture. Bring it up to the camera there. Okay. Let's give it a little center. Do I want to give it a little center? Or do I just want to do something like this?
I think he's gonna sit there, so.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to give it a center.
He's the center.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen there.
So cute.
Can you see it on the
Yes.
camera? Yeah. And then I'm going to leave it here. And that's basically it. I have to wait for it to dry, but I'm pretty happy with it.
Love it.
I will now put it somewhere to dry. And maybe possibly put a little bit of plastic cling wrap around the bottom so it'll have curvature. Put it up to me. Okay. I think I'm done. I'm done for tonight. I just wanted to come on and show you guys how
Lisa
I made.
says so cute.
Yeah, I can't wait to paint it. Yeah. Okay, good night, everybody. You could see it later. I'll come back when I paint it. All right. Is that the cutest?
It is.
So should I put it on a base, right?
Yep.
I try to make it very straight, but it doesn't stand up. Aww, cuteness. There we go. Those are my clay people. What can I tell you? Who else was on?
Don't know. I only know she was on because she said something.
Okay.
So do we want to turn this into a reel?
A reel?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good it looks.
Just a moment, we're almost ready to create your reel.
Okay. That's perfect, actually. And if that works, I'll do it more often. I think it looks great.
Lisa said goodnight.
Aww, she's my friend. That's the one we sold the girl to.
Nice.
Regalón.
So this is interesting. This video will be deleted after 30 days due to changes in our live video storage. You can download it to your device in the video's 3-dot menu.
Huh. Okay. I like the fact that it's like alive.
Okay, well there it is. Okay, so I have no idea.
I have no idea either, but we did it. It stands inside of there.
Beautiful. Yep,
You bring it up to the camera. I think that's cute though.
I think it's
It,
great.
it will not stand on its own. So maybe I'll make it like a little base. It's cute. So
Super
maybe before it dries, I'm going to give it some texture down here. Can you see it in what I'm doing?
No.
No? What about now? But I need to stay on up here.
You can show it when it's done.
Yes, I will take it to the camera when it's done. It's just a little scoring. You just want to give it a little texture. That's basically it. I have to wait for it to dry, but I'm pretty happy with it.
Love it.
I will now put it somewhere to dry. Okay, let's try and finish our little bee project that we started a while ago back. That I had sculpted a flower for it to sit on, and then it doesn't stand up. So, gotta find something. So I had this piece of wood already with a hole in it. I went ahead and I did a hole on here. Got 2 nails. They're gonna go right in there. And this is gonna go in here, obviously with glue. And voila, we have a little stand. And since the bee had the toothpick on the bottom, she will sit very comfortably on that flower. So, without further ado, I am going to add glue in here and let that start settling in there. Lots of glue. Lots and lots of wood glue is what I'm using. And just for extra measure, I'm going to put a little bit of paper in there so that it's a little bit smaller. The nails still have a little bit of wiggle room. I don't want wiggle room. So we're going to just push it in there. Push it in there. I'm pushing it into the hole. It'll be nice and tight. With the glue so it doesn't move around. Okay, that will do. But before I put that on there, let's paint it. Let's get painting. Got my water, got my brushes. Now let's make it happen. Okay, so if I'm gonna sit her in there, I want a light color coming off of there. So I'm gonna start off with yellow. Kind of works off of her. Yellow color. I'm gonna put a little touch of orange. I don't think you're gonna see much of the orange, but it's okay. I like it anyways. So the flower's gonna have, I said you're not gonna see much of the orange. It's become very orange now. Let's put a little more yellow. And then I'm gonna transition to this pink that I'm actually not upset at, right? I'm not upset at the pink. Come on. Come on, pink. And then a little touch of the neon color at the edge. Just mixing them together. And then the light color. So notice how I'm not cleaning my brush. I'm just gonna go and blend it. The 2 shades of pink. And then even go up into the yellow. So you get that fading. So now I can, with my clean brush, I can do a little more of that. All right, let's do the other one. And we're gonna have to do the underside. So I will go around that side and do it. So again, I'm taking the mauve pink and then adding a little bit of the neon pink. Then the soft pink without cleaning my brush, so you still have a little bit of the other colors left. And I am not painting in a back and forth motion, I'm just dabbing it on. Back into the yellow. And go back here and soften that. I do like that little touch of neon on the edge. Okay, let's do the other one. Same process. You can always go back and add more if you feel it's too light, or if you feel it's too dark, or backwards. If you feel it's too light, you can add more color. If you feel it's too dark, you can soften the color. It's just paint. And if you hate it, start all over again. I mean, really. Would not be the first time I've had to start all over again. You look at it and you're like, ugh, I don't think I like it anymore. Okay, change it. Paint it again. No big deal. I'm going to go into the yellow, and with very little paint, I'm just going to drag it down a little bit into the nooks and crannies, just a little bit. I don't know what flower has yellow in the middle and then pink on the sides, and I don't care. It's all about what you see with your eye and what's going to make you think, oh, I like that. And that's what you have to do. So, ooh, I like that. So that's all that's important when you're painting. You have to be happy with it yourself. So now I'm going to do the underside, I think in this bright pink. And then I will add a little softness to it. But let's do a first coat. Uh-oh, we have a visitor. Is she going to make it all her way over here? She's just inspecting. Sammy's in the studio inspecting. Cat supervisor. Are you gonna come say hello to the camera? Are you gonna come? Or you just wanna smell things? Hmm? Hey, hi. Hi. She's feeling camera shy today. All right, I understand. Soften it a little bit. Okay, let's do the stem. While we wait for that to dry a little bit, we'll go back and touch up any parts we left out. So the way I'm going to paint the stem is I'm going to do the whole thing in the hunter green, and then I'm going to dry brush it with the light green. I think that's what we're doing. Let's go for it. Hunter green all over. We should wait. Huh. But if you know me, you know I hate waiting. I like to get it done, which sometimes gets me in trouble. But you gotta live with yourself. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say, as long as you're happy, right? And it's okay if you get a little bit in there on the pink. No big deal. We'll fix it. No big deal. I'm gonna wet it a little bit. Soften that. If you wet it a little bit, you soften the green. And you're able to spread the paint around a little bit better. Soften it. Go in there. You're not really gonna see the bottom of the flower, but if somebody does see it, you want it to be painted, no? So that's what I'm doing, just softening up the bottom. Let's see. Okay. Now with another brush, just going to kind of dry brush it. Let's see. Pull it off over here, turn it on its side. We're gonna do that. Even though I got a little bit of pink, who cares, right? So what this is doing is letting me get a little bit of the texture coming out of what I sculpted. Put a bit too much there, so just wipe it off. So I'm missing a little bit of green there. Take it up to the camera so you can see. So it gives you that variation of color. I like it. So that's pretty good. I like that and I like that. Where's our base? Our base is still drying, but do I care? Probably not. I want to test it. That is so cute. I can't stand it. So I want to go into the nooks and crannies and I want to add just a little bit of burnt umber. Oops. Oopsie. I don't know why this paint is so watery. Let's touch up the parts that we missed right there. And let me go into some of the parts like that just to give it a little interest and depth. And as soon as I put it in, I'm going to take it off. There we go. Just a little bit. Just a little bit so it's not so flat. And I'm basically taking it off. So you put a little bit, you find the little crevice, let the brush get in there. It helps when you don't have too much coffee. So your hands won't be trembly. That's how I'm feeling today. Too much coffee. I'm gonna work with it, people. We're just gonna work with it. You can get in there too, where one petal meets the other, right in there. What I do is I just wet my brush a little bit so that I can take a lot of the paint off. See, so I look at it from the top and I just see a few little white spots that I want to get into. So instead of using the brown, I'm going to use a hot pink. And you know, it's your flower. You do what you want with it. You add more yellow, you add more pink, maybe you want to make a purple flower. It's up to you. I'm just feeling I'm feeling pink. Look at that, see? We missed that whole side there. That's why it's good to come back around. Get in there. There we go. Done. You go in here and another little spot that needed more paint. And I could just go like this, almost like a dry brush with the hot pink. Just another little spot there. Take your time. No rush. I'm always in a rush, but there's no need to rush. So let me look on the underside. A couple of spots where I got green. I'm going to fix it right now. It's adorable. It's a great little perch for my bee. Let me see. There's a certain part of the flower that I designed it for her to sit just right. I think it's right here. Right here. That's cute. All right, so let's just commit to what we have going on, this situation. So I'm going to cover that in glue. And just slide it in there. And then spread the glue around. And I'm going to cover this part down here in Spanish moss. That's what I'm going to do to that. But meanwhile, while that dries, I'm going to touch up my bee because I got some stuff on it. And I had dressed her in a red cover back here. And the yellow looks a little mucky, so I'm going to add a little more, soften that yellow. I put too much darkness on her. I'm going to soften her up a little bit. I'm going to go get some red so we can... That's pretty. We all have projects halfway done. If you're a crafter and an artist, there's always going to be something unfinished, but today I'm trying to finish. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Glue gun. And I have a few of these little rocks. When I mean a few, I mean I have a lot. So we could put a little bit of that on the base, so it's not just... Well, that's kind of pretty. a couple of rocks just to give a little interest to the piece. I think that's good right there. I have a bag of moss. Let's see how much we'll use of that. Maybe I should paint the base dark green, so if you see anything below the moss, it will look green. Let's do that. I think that's a wise idea. I can use both greens. It doesn't matter what green you use. Just picking up all the paint. Just sponging it. That's all I'm doing. My gosh, do you remember in the 80s? All the sponging? People had every single wall sponged or stenciled. Good grief. Was it 80s or was it early 90s? I don't know. Do you still have your house sponged? Is there still a wall in your house that you can't get yourself to unsponge? Let me know in the comments. I don't. I don't have any sponged wall in my house. All right, let's finish this. Forgot to turn the camera on, but I did cover it in Spanish moss right there. And the rocks that I picked were too big, so I'm changing to a smaller rock. Let's see if I put another one somewhere else, just to add a little interest. Add some glue. I did reinforce the bottom with extra glue. Again, camera not on, but you get it. No big deal. So I'm trying to find rocks in my little stash that are a little smaller and have a little bit of color. Like I like these two. These are cute. Let's put another one there. Totally optional. If you don't have rocks, that's fine. I just like that it's building up around the base, giving it a little more whimsy, a little more gardeny. I'm gonna go all around. It's kind of hard for it to come out on camera, but I just took my time, went all around. Take off some of that glue. Glue spider webs. Let's take my girl. Just waiting for me to finish. And put her on here. And how cute is that? I mean, I just think it's adorable. Gives her a nice little perch. The last step is to secure her in place with glue, which I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and E6000. Show you my E6000 and wood glue. And then we will shine her up with some sealer. So let's go ahead and secure her in there. And we are going to wait because I don't want her coming off of there. So we will have to come back to this project again. I must have patience. Must have patience. Little touch of the wood glue never hurt anybody. Just a little bit right there. Just a touch. Just a touch. Make sure. How do I want to sit her? I think there is good. Make sure it's correct. Let's get another brush and clean out the extra glue there. That's good. Make sure you clean your brush afterwards, or else it'll get hard. And close your E6000 before it gets bad. So I'm happy with that because you can't see where the bee is sitting, which is what you want. You want to camouflage it, so that's pretty good. We'll clean it again. I think that's adorable. I will wait and then put the sealer on. But this is what you got. So stinking cute. Then I'll paint the bottom off my base, but I'm gonna leave the sides green. All right.